we're going to use the 3.5 millimeter stereo jack to RCA connector. So we're going to use this. We're going to use this wart, excuse me, and then the Bluetooth device itself. So let's get rid of the box. It's out of here. No distractions. We don't need them. Okay, so first of all, let's do power. Okay, we have this nice little wall wart here, and we're lucky enough to have it small enough so it'll actually work for what we're going to do. Sometimes if these are too big, I'll want you to put like a little extension cord. You know, you can go to Walmart and get a little 3-foot or 1.5-foot extension cord. And what we're going to do is we're going to send power to this wall wart. We're going to power this up every time the stereo turns on. We don't need to leave this on 24/7. We don't need it. What we are going to do, though, is we are going to make it go on every time the stereo turns on. So we're going to take them. We have two leads. We have two outlets here. We have unswitched 110. We have a switched 110. I'd like put the turntable on this one, and then use this one for like the wall wart. Okay, so we're going to hook that puppy up. Okay, we still have room for the speaker outputs and everything. How clean that thing is. Okay, next step is we are going to plug the audio leads, the RCA leads, into the stereo. And we can do this a couple ways. We can use the auxiliary input, or we could use a tape input. So like say you already have a CD player on your auxiliary input, we could go over here and do, say, like tape 1 in, something like that. We don't have a CD player on here, so I'm going to use the RCAs. I'm going to put it in the audio input here for the auxiliary. And of course, right is always red. Right is red. Left. So we have right and left input. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this into the back of the HK unit. And I'm not going to fiddle with the camera and do this with one hand. I'm just going to pause this for a second. Okay, so here's the unit. I have it plugged in. We have our power from our wall wart coming from our switched 110. We have the audio output going into auxiliary input on the audio section. So let's show what this looks like when it's installed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this receiver around and then set this on the top, and we'll get a visual here. Okay, so I don't have this quite ready to put into my rack yet, but generally what we'll do is we'll take some mini zip ties or something and zip tie these cords together. A lot of times I'll like to say put this up on a shelf or up on the top of my entertainment center. It doesn't necessarily have to be right here, and I've got enough cord to play around with it and mess around. There's like 3 or 4 feet of cord for each one of these. I think the RCA cord's like 3.5 feet. A wall wart cord, I didn't measure that. Probably 3 or 4. Somewhat similar. So it doesn't have to be right here, but this is just kind of for this demonstration here. This is why I have it here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this on, and then I'll show you what I mean by using that switched 110 volt outlet for that wall wart. So the receiver is actually off right now, so I'm going to turn it on. Okay. And now the Bluetooth is on, and it's waiting to be paired. So you can pair that up with your smartphone, your laptop, iPods. I use an old smartphone that I have a bunch of CDs on, and I just use that for my music storage, and that's in one of my other videos, and I like to do that. Then what we'll do to actually play this is we'll pair this up to our smartphone or whatever our device is going to be. Then we want to put this on auxiliary, because we went through the auxiliary inputs on the rear, and then jam away. And I usually play some music or something, but YouTube's getting really weird with their copyright crap, and I don't want to get a strike against me. So trust me, it plays, it works. If you can figure out how to pair up, honestly, the hardest part about this whole thing is just pairing the dang thing up to your device, which is a total no-brainer, and so is this install as well. So anyway, there you have it. Now I can jam on this badass old 2250B here and just enjoy this beautiful rig, man, via Bluetooth. Okay, I hope that helps you guys out. Bluetooth your home stereo. You know, I really don't see why people Bluetooth these little portable speakers and stuff, because they sound terrible. If you have a nice old vintage stereo, or, you know, whatever, just a stereo that sounds good to you, add Bluetooth to it. You know, you can make it modern. And you've got a vintage killer amplifier, probably with some killer speakers, and you can play your modern digital devices on it. All right, anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe. More stuff coming. Via Bluetooth, we are going to do some other Bluetooth projects, and yes, I will build a powered Bluetooth speaker. But anyway, the Harman Kardon BTA 10, nice piece of gear, nice match for the old Marantz. Thanks for watching.